they understand the problems. It's good to listen to them in that dressing room because they're not self-protective anymore. They are feeling what is required, and so it's quite a vociferous dressing room there after this game, because we expect to come to Rotherham and win, and we didn't today because of pretty basic football things.
Desperate times for Blackburn Rovers as their rotten spell continues after a 5-goal thriller at the New York Stadium as they lose 3-2 to Rotherham. We'll talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review, this time looking back at Blackburn Rovers' woeful performance up against Rotherham at the New York Stadium. We'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now let's give you the nitty gritty, folks. Rovers are now bottom of the form table, folks. That is right, stone cold bottom. At the last 6 games, we've only managed to pick up a point, and that is worse than Millwall, worse than QPR, worse than Bolton, and even worse than Ipswich, folks. Stinking bottom of the old form table. Something needs to be done, and it needs to happen fast, and it doesn't get much easier than that for us actually in the next few games. But anyway, let's talk about it. 3-2 loss against Rotherham with a very, very early goal. Semi Ajayi getting 2 today, the first around about the 92nd mark. Long throw expert, Vaulks with the throw in. Semi Ajayi with a nice floated fluffy header. David Royer nowhere near it. That kept the 9,900 or 9,663 fans on the edge of their seats a little bit. Nice early start to the game, but it wasn't until the second half that Rovers kind of got themselves into the game. We did have a couple of opportunities in the first half, but ultimately we looked woeful, folks. Very slow, very lethargic out the blocks. But Semi Ajayi with the only goal in the first half. The second half was Amari Bell getting his second goal in 3 games. The first, I thought earlier, my instant review was in Birmingham, but that's incorrect. The last time he scored was the loss against Reading, and it's in another defeat that he scored. It was a bit of a mess in the box. He got the last sort of shot on it to make it 1-1. So game on perhaps, but obviously this is Rovers, folks. We cannot, for the life of us, keep ourselves in this game, and we have the leakiest defence in the business. And then a player by the name of Williams then restored Rotherham's lead 2-1, 57th minute on the clock, and then so we had a good old 30-odd minutes to get ourselves back in it. In fairness to Rovers, we did dig deep and we did create a fair few of opportunities. We actually dominated possession with just under 59% possession compared to 41% for Rotherham. We also had a better successful pass rate, 67% to their 61. More shots than they did, 15 to 13. More dribbles. They won the aerial battles, 36 to our 30. We had more tackles on the ground, 21 to 14. The final goal for Rovers was a penalty in the 92nd minute, I guess, deep into injury time. But before that, Semi Ajayi got a third for Rotherham, which put this game to bed, to be honest with you. Charlie Mulgrew scored the resultant penalty to put him into double digits, I think, for the season. But ultimately, not good enough, folks. Pretty shambolic, to say the least. Smallwood was taken off at half-time because he had a bit of a nasty attack on a yellow card, which could have kind of hit us in the back burn. Anyway, quick look at the lineups. First and foremost, Rotherham, the host, Rodak in goal, Mattock, Robertson, Enrique, Jones, forward Towell, Vaulks, Taylor, Ajayi in that supporting sort of defensive midfield role, and Smith up top. As for Rovers, as you were, I think I predicted this lineup. Ryer in goal, Bell, Rodwell, Mulgrew, and Nyambe, Smallwood, Travis, Armstrong, Dack, Bennett, and Graham. Quick look at my match ratings. Not pleasant reading, I'm afraid. Ryer with a 5, Bell with a 6, purely because he got the goal. Otherwise, it would have been a 5 or worse. Rodwell with a 5, Mulgrew with a 6, and again, because of the braveness that he did with the penalty, Naomi with a 6, Small with a 4, Travis with a 6, Dack with a 5, Armstrong with a 5, Bennett with a 5, and Graham with a 6, purely for his hold-up play. He's doing what the boss has told him. Ultimately, it's not good enough. Quick look at some more stats for you. This is the shots on target for you. Down the bottom there, you can see a bit of an overview whereabouts the on-target shots took place. Some more stats for you. We had more passes than they did, 388. We had more touches than they did, 588 to their 508. But ultimately, not good enough, boys and girls. Quick look at the heat maps as well for you. If you're a heat map man just like me, you can have a look at it. But yeah, I think this is not a great result for Rovers. A lot of fans. We'll talk about this in a bit more detail in a second. But a lot of fans on the old forums and the Facebooks and all that kind of good stuff. They're expressing their views, and I can see it. Yeah, I understand a lot of the vocal opinion about Mulgrew out and all this kind of stuff. I think it's too early, boys and girls. It is too early. Yes, Rotherham, struggling, but they're scrapping for their lives down the bottom there. This win for them is huge. It's more bigger win for them than it is a defeat for us. So you got to understand that. And this is Mowbray's first season in this division. He's given these guys a crack of the whip. Say, this is your season at the Championship. Have you got what it takes? Obviously, he doesn't, or they don't. So now it's time to embed some more players. He's given the League One Rovers a chance to kind of step it up, only making a couple of changes. Obviously, he's invested a lot of money in Brereton, and it could work out in the end. But right now, it does look a little bit of a shambles on them. But that's by the by. So let's we're all upset. We're all angry. Losing to a team like this is pretty. I'm not no disrespect to Rotherham, but I was hoping we can get back on the winning trail and get some points on the board. But yeah, obviously the vibe right now is terrible. The form does not lie. The form book does not lie. Bottom of the table for the past 6 games. So in all fairness, yeah, I'd ride out this season with Mowbray in charge, obviously, and then give him another crack at the whip next season. Hopefully, he can bring in some players over August and the summer. And yeah, I think between now and the end of the season, there's about 10 or so, 12 games, something like that, left in the season. Have a look at the academy, see the players to see if they can step it up, come on in, and maybe stick a claim for themselves in the future. But ultimately, an area that's massively contentious is our defence. Build from the back, boys. I know we got a really good creative player in Bradley Dack, and Danny Graham can score goals, and Armstrong is a lethal weapon in this division. I think Dack, Graham and Armstrong, I think we can use those next season. Yes, it's unfortunate the players such as Elliot Bennett, Richard Smallwood, Charlie Mulgrew to a point. Is it worth keeping him in the side? Purely on the fact of his set piece ability. He is absolutely dangerous. There's no question about that. I don't think there is a better left foot in the Championship playing right now. But on the flip side, you get all that. You get all the Brucey bonus of him with his amazing set piece abilities, but his defending is not good enough. It's a huge bone of contention. Our defence is absolutely... And Rodwell could probably do a much better job in centre mid as well, in place of Smallwood. Maybe play Rodwell and Travis in those 2 centre midfield slots. If you're going to stick with that formation, use Lenihan and then get in another solid centre. I think Lenihan has got an amazing, exciting future for Rovers. I think he's got all the attributes to be a top quality centre back. Hopefully we can keep him and find a good partner for him. And unfortunately, I don't think it's Mulgrew. I do not think it's Mulgrew. But anyway, what else have the fans been saying? Let's take a little look at it. Richie Sharp said this: that's now 8 times that Rovers have scored twice in a game and not managed to win. One of a number of worrying stats that are starting to tot up. Meanwhile, Linz Lewis said this: for everyone who said the season is all over, if we lose today, it isn't. Every game matters. We keep losing. We are dragged into a dogfight. An extremely poor first half, a better second, but unable to eradicate our mistakes. We've made them look amazing. Not good enough. Torqueville was right smack dab in the middle there. It is a poor run, a weird one at best, but we did just do exact opposite in January. Swings and roundabouts. Don't get carried away when we are in a few, when we win a few in a row. Don't get carried away when we lose a few in a row. It's grim, but it happens. Hashtag Rovers. Tom Schofield said this: it's becoming difficult. Is this defensively? We look all over the place. What has happened to the team that plays so expertly against Hull? You'd expect setbacks and in no way overreacting. I just want to see us win. Meanwhile, Northern Rover. Some implicitly awful defending by Rovers today. Again, it's just simple long balls into the box and we cannot deal with them. Very disappointing now, as I said. Over at the BRFCS.com forum, a lot of players expressing their opinions towards Mowbray. That is purely them, not me. I think Mowbray should be given to next season to show what he, to really test his managerial skills with Rovers, and he's given them the League One boys a crack. Let's see if he can improve the squad a little bit anyway. But Tyrone Shoelace has said this: it's fast approaching breaking point now. If things don't improve dramatically next week, and I can't see how they will, it's a taxi time for Tony. The guys old school. We need a younger guy running the team. We're not getting beat. We're not just getting beat every week. We're playing like drains, and we're as weak as piss. Meanwhile, Mark BRFC said this: I don't think we have to worry about relegation this season. We'll stumble along and just pick up enough points to be okay, I think. Dreading next season, though, as I just can't see Mowbray signing 5-6 players in the summer and throwing them straight into our starting lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if come opening game next season, we only have 1 or 2 signings through the door, to be honest. He doesn't seem to get things done quick. Meanwhile, Stewart said this: despite set-piece options, I think Mulgrew was past his sell-by date, or he is carrying an injury. Can't believe anyone thinks we shouldn't have brought a defender in January. I do believe we should have brought a defender in January. I honestly think that Mowbray has lost the respect of the players, holiday camp mentality, and tactically inept. Well, the players want to try something else, so we gave it a go. Quotation marks. Lovely bloke, but lovely blokes do not get good managers make. He needs to change his backroom team and quickly, or probably face the sack. Meanwhile, exiled in Toronto said this: Ryan needs replacing. It all starts from there. Commander keeper is essential. Nyambe worth persevering with. Maybe Rodwell too, but Charlie needs replacing. Bell looking every inch a third T player when defending. Bennett can F off. Rothwell must start, and the strike force of Graham, Armstrong and Dak is mid-table at best. The manager needs to break up the cosy dressing room culture, which it seems doesn't include Rothwell, or he'll deserve to be out of a job. Some good points in that mix right there. Raya, I think, is an okay keeper, but he does need somebody knocking on his door, a Fotheringham or a Frankie Fielding or somebody like that who's been around a bit and can push him to up his game. Now, I don't think Loutweiler was doing that, and I don't think he's got any intention of doing that because his contract's end the summer, so he's not thinking about that. He knows his time is up. As for the rest, Nyambe, yeah, I think he's got legs. Rodwell too, but not at centre back. Charlie probably does need replacing, if we are completely honest. Bell, he's got something about Bell, but defend, I don't know. And Bennett, obviously a great character, great person off the field, but his performances of late have been very, 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 below par. Rothwell, yeah, he looked electronic, buzzing and all that kind of good stuff. And Graham, Armstrong and Dak, yeah, I agree to a point, mid-table at best, but mid-table championship, I think it's a solid base to improve, and I do see some likeness to that of Sheffield United a little bit. Mercer said this: your words don't wash, Mowbray. You sign the players, you sell, loan out the players, you coach the players, you select the players, you set up the team, you choose the tactics, and you pick your assistants, Vince and Lowe. If you make the wrong decisions, you pay the price. The buck stops with you. Do the honourable thing and go. Once again, not my words. This is Mercer here. Big Dog Steel said this: didn't watch today in any capacity as I'm sick of this season. Going off Rich Sharps. It sounded like we were more pathetic than usual, though. What a shocking collapse since January. Borderline sackable at this stage. We will lose heavily next weekend, and I have no doubt about that. So it could be 8 points off relegation then. Tony has made a balls of it since winning Manager of the Month. And that, my friends, is all I can show you from the BRFCS.com forum. If you want to check it out, I'll whack the old link in the description. Anyway, what else has gone on? In fact, before we look at the championship, here's what the gaffer had to say.
Well, same as what we've been getting, really. Inability to defend properly, inability to keep clean sheets, inability to head the ball out of our box. Listen, I don't want to go too deep, but if you'd have watched our training today, and if you'd watched our training this week, and then to lose the goal we lost in the first minute, you wouldn't believe it, really. So I think you can protect your footballers sometimes and skirt around the edges, and yet I can't do that today. We have to defend, we have to head the ball, we have to. It got brought up in a fans forum this week, and I said to the people in that enclosed environment that we know what we have to do. Unfortunately, the one player who likes heading the ball in our team is unavailable at the moment, and yet my job is to go and get some players who that's their stock, really, I think. And there'll be days when we'll have our footballers playing at the back and hopefully passing it around and creating chances, and there'll be other days when we have to go to war and put your head on a stick and head the ball. So you can see the positives that are there. We played some half decent stuff today, created some good chances, enough chances to win this game quite comfortably, and yet A long throw in the box, straight headed into our net. A simple cross into the box, just headed into our net. A goalkeeper, wow, you know, 2 pathetic kicks and then balls up in the air in his 6-yard box and he's practically in the net rather than coming to catch it. It's so basics. You're saying it's I can't protect them every week. If they don't do it, I can't do anything about it at the moment. We just have to stick together, work really hard. They understand the problems. It's good to listen to them in that dressing room because they're not self-protective anymore. They are feeling what is required, and so it's quite a vociferous dressing room there after this game because we expect to come to Rotherham and win, and we didn't today because of pretty basic football things. Listen, I know my players, and I think I'm disappointed for the team. I'm disappointed for the fans who made the trip and spent their money to come and watch that, because we didn't get undone by a better football team today. We got undone by a team who knows what it's all about, who have a big centre forward who messes people around, and we allowed him to mess us around today. And we set plays, we knew we'd done a lot of work this week on set plays against, because we knew every throw in was an event for them really, and every corner's an event, and to lose the goals that we did is unbelievable after the work that we did. But never mind. I can't. I don't want to stand here and smudge it really. It's I have to change it, and as I said in this fans forum this week, we will change it, and however many goals or crosses you might make or whatever you might do as a defender, if you don't do the basic of defending, you ain't going to be playing. And don't come chapping. This is all the defenders and the goalkeeper. When we sign players in the summer, they will be coming to do a job, and I expect them to come and do the job, and you have to compete for your place and get better at the things you're not very good at. Listen, we'll be fine. We'll win enough football matches to make it a season that is consolidation, stay in this league, and then we have to build a team that we believe that they've shown for half a season that they can compete with anybody in this division and get to the top end of the table. But when teams sort of figure out and see the soft underbelly, they go for it really, and that's where we're suffering a little bit at the moment. Yeah, listen, it's very difficult for me to talk to you on air. You're going to tell the world what our underbelly's all about and where we're struggling a little bit, but that's not my job. My job is to try and protect our team and try and find a way to win games. So that's what we will do. We'll stick together, we'll work hard, we will keep going. I think they are now finding that I'd like to think the preparation for this game was all there, and yet it just unfolded in front of our eyes that we couldn't deal with what we knew was coming, and that's difficult to take, because, as I say, ultimately in the defensive areas we have to have different types of footballers. As we've got speed in attack or power in attack or creativity in attack, we need to have some players on a day week playing Rotherham away and they're throwing balls into your box and just heading it straight into your net. You have to have defenders who might not be as talented as other defenders, but they make their living out heading the ball out of the box. So that's ultimately where we have to get to.
Meanwhile, what else has gone on this weekend? In the old Championship, Leeds put up a bit of a barnstorming performance up against West Brom on Friday. 4-0 winners. Millwall lost against the leaders Norwich 3-1. Ipswich put up a brave fight, but they lost against Reading. Brentford won their derby 3-0 against QPR. Preston were held 1-1 against Bristol City. Wigan also held 0-0 against Middlesbrough. Hull 2-0 victors over Birmingham. Stoke also continued, well, I wouldn't say continued, but maintained Nottingham Forest up and down start to this in the season. 2-0 loss. There, Rotherham obviously won. Villa 4-0 winners over Derby. Swansea beat Bolton 2-0, who were down to 9 men towards the back end of that game. Also, still to come is the Sheffield United Derby on Monday, and Derby will entertain Wigan on Tuesday. And this is what the table looks like. Leeds are in second. Norwich are top of the pops by 2 points. Sheffield United breathe down the next, and they could leapfrog Leeds once again should they beat Sheffield Wednesday. West Brom, Middlesbrough, Bristol City are in the playoffs. As for the bottom three, Ipswich, Bolton and Rotherham still remain on goal difference after Reading's victory this time out. Rovers, though, it's not looking good, folks. 17th spot on the table, but a win. I know a win is like rocking horse poop at the moment, but a win in our next game could see us rise to 13th. And we're up against Preston. That's right, next weekend. Early kick-off on the Saturday. Norwich take on Swansea on the Friday. Sheffield United will take on Rotherham at Bramall Lane. Also an early kick-off there. Forest against Hull City. Derby against Sheffield Wednesday. Bolton Millwall. That's a big one there. QPR Stoke. Middlesbrough, Brentford, West Brom against Ipswich, Reading against Wigan, another tasty one there, Bristol City against Leeds, that'll be fruity, and Birmingham against Villa. It's the Midlands derby, folks. And that, unfortunately, is all I got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Also, make sure you check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there, Twitter and Facebook, so you can catch me up on the fly. Yes. I don't know what to think. No, I'm Mowbray's fine in my eyes. I think, yeah, I can see a lot of the points on the FCS forums and the comments up there. Yeah, it does need shaking up, and hopefully Mowbray's man enough, big enough, and brave enough to break up that the dressing room atmosphere a little bit and kind of bring in some new faces. And I had a bit of a conversation with some fans out there a couple of weeks back or a week back. You know, about bringing in 5 or 6 experienced heads to try and turn it, and their response was, "What about youth and all that kind of stuff?" But realistically, we can't rely on youth at this stage. Yeah, I think now, between now and the end of the season, maybe throw some in, especially some defenders. Let's look at some of our options at centre back, perhaps. Maybe some different options at left back. See who we got in the academy to come through. The young John Buckley fella, give him a shot in midfield. Oh, there are some very exciting prospects in there, and maybe this is between. I think let's get past these next 2 games, the local games, and then maybe we'll try and mix it up a bit with some youth and all that kind of good stuff. But there, next season, I'm all for Mowbray sticking around for one more year. I know it's not going to win the fan appeal on this one, but I think he, give him a summer. And see if he can switch it on. But I do like, the ex-Fulham manager, Djokovic. I think he would be an absolutely immense person to bring in, a youthful manager. Yeah, and there are some other good ones out there as well. But anyway, for now, I'm all on Mowbray's side. Keep going. I know it's not great at the moment, but we're only a couple of wins away from a few more happy smiley faces. Until I see you again, I'll be doing the old Preston preview in a couple of days' time. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Chin up, boys. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.